Hi, my name is Lucas, and yes, I used to be terrified of speaking English. Today, you're going to learn English through a real story that happened to me, one that almost cost me the job of my dreams. As you watch, turn on the subtitles and repeat the English phrases with me. It'll help you practice pronunciation and remember what you learn. I'm Lucas, 28 years old, and I've always been that guy who feels confident at work, but freezes when it comes to English. I'm Brazilian, born in Campinas, the son of a schoolteacher and a sound technician. I went to public school my whole life and worked hard to earn my degree. When I landed a job at a company headquartered in Canada, I could hardly believe it. The position was remote at first, so my basic English and some good old Brazilian creativity got me through. But now, in person, that was a different story. I felt like a fraud. Every time someone spoke too fast or used a slang I didn't know, I would freeze. Are they going to realize I'm a total fake? I knew I had the technical skills to do the job, but all my confidence vanished the moment I had to speak. And the worst part, every mistake I made seemed to prove that inner voice right. You're never going to really speak English. 3 days after I started, my manager called me in. Lucas, can you present the team report to the folks in Toronto tomorrow? It's quick, just 10 minutes. 10 minutes, in English, for the whole team. That night, I stayed up until 3 a.m., rehearsing. I wrote everything down, translated every sentence, practiced each word's pronunciation using Google Translate. The next day, I walked into the room with ice-cold hands. I started off okay, but the moment someone interrupted with a question that wasn't in my script, everything fell apart. Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't understand. I froze, and after a few painfully awkward seconds, I don't know. I'm sorry. I walked out of that room sweating, embarrassed. In my head, I was sure everyone was thinking, how did this guy even get hired? That day, I seriously thought about quitting, going back to Brazil, resigning, disappearing. But it was right there, in that humiliation, that everything began to change. That night, still feeling like a failure, I vented to Mateo, a Colombian coworker on our team. He looked at me and said, Lucas, you don't need more grammar rules. You need real input. English the way we actually use it in real life. I didn't quite get it at first. He laughed and pulled out his phone. Check this out. I learned English by binge-watching series with English subtitles. Then I started repeating the lines out loud, pausing the episodes. Just 20 minutes a day. Sounds too simple, right? But Mateo spoke with such fluency and ease that I couldn't ignore it. And then he added, Oh. And one more thing. Forget about being embarrassed. Say it wrong. Mess up. If you wait until it's perfect, you'll never speak. It was like someone opened a window in my mind. That very night, I gave it a try. I picked my favorite show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and started repeating the lines like I was rehearsing for a role. At first, it felt awkward, but something started to shift. In those first few days, I felt ridiculous repeating lines from a sitcom. Cool, 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 no doubt, no doubt. Jake Peralta would say, and I'd parrot it right back. But, little by little, something amazing happened. The phrases started coming out naturally. The words that once sounded like a blur now had rhythm, tone, even a bit of accent. I began understanding jokes. Catching expressions I'd never seen in textbooks like, I'm down for that. No worries, you nailed it. And more than that, I started speaking with more confidence at work, not fluently, but without fear. Every good job I heard from a teammate felt like winning a trophy. I carved out 30 minutes every day to stick to my routine. A short episode pause, and repeat key phrases, speak them out loud. It felt like I was rehearsing a new version of myself. Lighter, more confident, more present. One day, I realized I wasn't translating in my head anymore. I was just understanding and responding. Then, I got a new message on Slack. "Lucas, can you present our project to the CEO next week? He's flying in from Toronto." My heart started racing. But this time, it wasn't fear, it was excitement. The room was full. The CEO, tall, Canadian, deep voice, sat in the front row. I had 15 minutes to present our team's progress, in English. No script, no notes, just me, the slides, and my voice. Before I started, I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. I remembered all the nights I repeated phrases until my throat hurt. Every episode, every little yes I'd celebrated alone in my room. I began, "Hi everyone, I'm Lucas, and I'd like to walk you through what we've achieved in the last 3 months." My hands trembled at first, but after the CEO laughed at a joke I made, everything shifted. I was there, present, answering questions, using expressions I'd only learned through Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's a great question, actually. We faced some challenges, but we nailed it in the end. When I finished, the room was silent for 2 seconds. Then came the applause. CEO shook my hand and said, "Your presentation was excellent, clear, confident, and engaging. Well done." At that moment, I knew my English wasn't perfect, but it was enough to move me forward. From that day on, my relationship with English changed completely. I stopped seeing it as a barrier and started seeing it as a bridge that led to incredible conversations, to opportunities I once thought were out of reach, to a version of myself I didn't know existed. The secret? Consistency, courage, and a method that actually works for you. If you're afraid to speak, if you've ever frozen or thought English just isn't for you, I get it, I've been there. But believe me, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start and keep going. And if this video inspired you in any way, leave a comment. I'm crossing that bridge, because sometimes all we really need is a little push to take the first step. If you liked this story, subscribe to the channel and check out the next one. Each episode is a new chance to learn English in a fun, light, and real way. And remember, every bit of practice matters. Even if it feels small today, it's exactly what takes you far tomorrow. Don't give up.